Hi, I'm Dallas Kiro, and welcome to Inside Creative Lives. Today we'll be featuring Ellie Heath, a multidisciplinary creative who does everything from music to comedy. Keep watching, and I know you'll fall in love with Ellie's prolific body of work, just like I did.
Here we go. Get me trying on one of the Pooh hats. We had these in our Christmas show. My name is Ellie Heath. I do comedy, I'm a singer-songwriter, I write blogs, I act in plays, I produce shows, I do a lot of different things. I'm a multi-hyphenate, I guess you could call me. I'm at the Roxy Theater on 124th Street, where my sketch comedy troupe Girl Brain performs and where I've done many shows, so I want to show you around. I would say that most people know me from performing in the sketch comedy troupe Girl Brain. That was a comedy troupe that I started in 2018 with my two friends, Allison Dicey and Kaylee Suliak. I remember going to see Celine Dion when I was maybe 4 or 5 and sitting in the audience and just being absolutely captivated, feeling like that was something that I wanted to do, that I needed to do. I was just a really creative kid. I loved expressing myself in different ways. So singing was probably the first sort of thing that I got into creatively. But then I also took piano lessons as a kid. I loved to write. I loved writing stories and making little books.
It does look delicious, but I don't want food. I want a friend.
It feels like it's continued along in my life, that there's not one sort of like discipline that I've gravitated to. It all sort of blends together. I think the reason for that is because I grew up in a family where creativity was super valued. So this is the Lauren Cardinal Theater. Girl Brain, we've done most of our shows in this space. Also, my first ever solo play that I wrote called Fake and Bake was performed in this space in the 2021 and 2022 Fringe. I also had my EP released, the Roxy. My grandma loved going to the Fringe. I loved going to the Fringe too. My mom and I used to go every summer. We saw quite a few one-woman shows, and my grandma always would say, you got to write a one-woman show. You have to write a one-woman show. And so it was this seed that had been planted from pretty much the time that I had started acting. I had a bench here, and then I had a big burger here, fries, and a pop. And then I moved all of them around. I think it was the beginning of the pandemic. I'm thinking, what am I going to do with all this time that has suddenly now become available? And I thought, well, what better time than to write my one-woman show that I've been wanting to do for years and just haven't had the time. And so I sat down and I wrote about 40 pages worth of essays of just all the things that I wanted to include in the show. And in that time, I was really aware of my relationship with alcohol and was trying to manage it, and it just wasn't working. And so it was about a year later that I quit drinking. And that was a huge thing for me. It was a huge, I guess, like, milestone moment for me, a really good habit for me to let go of. And it was also sort of the missing puzzle piece for writing the show.
Dear Miss Piggy, we're here to tell you that if you keep eating McDonald's for breakfast, your Fake and Bake McDonald's shake ass patty cake is going to get bigger and bigger.
Fake and Bake, one-woman show. It's all about my struggles with addiction, a coming-of-age show about me growing up being bullied pretty badly in junior high and high school, and my parents divorced, and sort of some of the bad habits that I accrued through that time, and later was able to, work through with a therapist and ultimately heal. So I debuted that show at the 2022 Edmonton Fringe.
It goes like this. Dear God, please keep my family alive. Don't let them die ever. Love, Ellie.
The first show of Fake and Bake, I don't think I've ever been that nervous because it's not just my first one-woman show. It's also a show that's deeply, deeply personal, and it's about me. And I would say I'm a perfectionist. At that point, I was very much projecting my best self out to the world and didn't necessarily want people to find out all of these things about me. You know, the fact that I'm not perfect, that I struggle with my mental health, that I struggle with anxiety and addiction. I was in junior high. People used to call me Fake and Bake. First off, I liked fake tanning. Secondly, I would come to school, I would always have McDonald's breakfast. And so people would make fun of me, and they would call me Fake and Bake McDonald's shake, ass patty cake. Which is a really long and actually pretty catchy jingle. So that's sort of like the central theme song of the show. And there's this moment in the show where I'm overcoming the addictions and I'm cleaning up my apartment, and I clean the apartment by turning all of the things back around to be the Happy Meal. And that first show, when I went up to the pop bottle to turn it around, or the wine bottle, I guess, it was just like one of the most powerful moments of my life, because I was thinking about everything it took to quit drinking. And it was like I got to show that to everybody in the audience, and I got to show them how hard it was for me, and to have them feel my reaction in that moment.
It's been 19 days since my last drink.
And it was just incredible. I don't know, it was a really, really special moment as an artist. It was like every part of me was in that moment.
I want to like myself. You deserve that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really, I don't know what this is.
I talked to somebody after the show, and they sent me a message privately that night letting me know that that was the most hopeful that they had felt about their own struggles in a long time. And it was just this feeling of like, I didn't even know that that's why I was writing it, but that's why I was writing it. The real, true honor of it was all the conversations that I got to have with people who also struggled and felt some hope after seeing it. One of my struggles is that sometimes I feel like, how am I ever really going to achieve greatness in any one discipline if I'm so split focus? But at the same time, having that, I guess, versatility, I think allows me to bring the different disciplines to each piece. So it doesn't necessarily feel like I'm doing all these different things. It feels like they're all part of the same thing.
My dad was always writing songs and asking for our feedback on his music, no matter what age we were or what we were working on. So it was like, you just felt like your opinion mattered. And I think because of that, it was like, I don't know, I just always felt like I had license to be a part of it and to make art and to create things. He played a song for me before you got here and asked for my feedback on it. And I think that that's important. It's important to feel like you're called in, and that you feel like you're allowed to let that part of you, your curiosity and your imagination, just like run free.
Oh.
There we go.
It's like, what song? It's not because you're always at your best, as if the world won't allow you any less.
Well, you know, when she was 12 years old, my good friend Van Wilmot, who was the artistic director of the Mayfield, picked her to play Brigida in Sound of Music, and she got the bug. She had the bug right away. She was playing piano when she was young and singing when she was young, so she already had the musical part of that kind of down. And after that, she really started focusing on one day becoming an actress. So she's kind of multi-talented. She's a bit of a Renaissance girl.
I would read to my dad before bed every night. And I loved when there was parts of dialogue that I could do voices for and act out the characters talking in the books. And we would read every night before bed, and I loved that.
I always had really bad stage anxiety, and I still get it. Like, it stopped me from performing when I was in my 20s, and I lost a record deal because of it. And, you know, I didn't really start performing again until I was in my mid-40s. And I remember at her convocation, she wanted to play a song that I'd written, and she wanted me to accompany her, and it was in front of probably 3,000 people, I would think. And it was my 17-year-old daughter consoling her 40-year-old father. "It's going to be okay, Dad. It's going to be all right." You know, she never had visible nerves. You know, she just was. She was a pro right from being 12 years old.
I've definitely felt nervous for things, but not in such a way that it's gotten in the way. I think the nerves was always also paired with enthusiasm, and so for me the enthusiasm superseded the nerves, and it's like the energy that you get back from an audience makes it all worth it in the end.
In the creative community, there is sometimes this feeling like, how do I measure my own success? And how do I show that success to everybody? And so there's this real like focus on success, but there's not as much of a focus on the process and how it feels and what people are going through emotionally as they're working on their art and as they're putting their art out there. Okay, so this wig is really just hilarious. It's a mullet wig. This wig I wore in the show last year. We were doing a sketch about like melting your walk during the winter. I've noticed that when I'm feeling inspired, it's really important to write those ideas down and take stock of those ideas when they come in the moment. Sometimes it feels a bit like you're stifling the idea by writing it down, or it's like, oh, this robs the magic of it, but it truly doesn't. I think that it's great to have a well of ideas so that in those moments where you're not necessarily feeling inspired, you can go to your notes section in your phone or wherever it is that you keep your ideas. If you're looking for inspiration, then you're going to be inspired. And maybe it won't come in the way that you're expecting it to, but I don't know. It's like you just never know how an idea is going to percolate and come to life in the future.
How I am. Why do you talk to me and never even think to ask?
Like 7 years ago when I quit smoking, it was this really important moment because I think I had doubted myself for so long, but when you make a big change like that, you take control. And I realized the things that I can control in this life, and it gave me the confidence to move forward. And over the last 7 years, I've been open and I've said yes to opportunity, and so much has come up because of that. And so it's like, I know that so much more will come up because of that. And so, yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to have things planned, but it's also exciting to know that there are things that I don't even know about that are coming my way as well.
Go talk your talk. I'm ready to walk. I got a light to shine this light of mine so